Sit your ass down and
Sit your ass down. Sit your $5 ass down before I make 10. Man, sit your ass down.
All right, this week, sit your ass down. All right, look, we gotta do this. Obviously, if you've been paying attention.
Who can I read that first one?
No.
Let me read it.
This is how we got here. Hold on. You want to be here another hour?
Oh, we want. I'll make that good and sweet.
Let her do it.
Bastard.
Here's what I'll do. I'll just read the headline. I'll toss it over to you.
Good.
Thank you.
The most people, you know how we get down.
Okay,
Sit your ass down.
Just read
First, sit your ass down. Piers Morgan.
Yeah. That old bell shape.
You got it. You got to give me a second.
Let my man talk.
All right, now, previously in this podcast, we talked about the Naomi Osaka thing, and Piers Morgan opened up his mouth to say the whole thing about she's a spoiled brat, she's exploiting mental health, she's using her own advantage. Piers.
From the same man.
All right, then.
From the same man that stormed out of his job.
Away.
He wanted to say somebody having a hissy fit.
Let's take a shot. Come on.
I got time, but really.
Didn't he walk out of his job
I got time.
and quit on national TV?
I watched that. I YouTube.
And he wanted to say somebody a baby? The nerve, sir.
You talking about Megan, right? Megan,
Yes. So that black guy was getting in his behind. He ain't like it.
And he was, and the black guy was like very truthful.
And he was right. He was talking calm. He wasn't yelling.
Right.
He was just talking to him.
Right.
And this big, grown, out of shape Donald Trump body, horse in the face, thick in the waist, flat ass, milk colored bastard.
I thought you were rhyming at first, but go ahead. I thought you just
Say
said
it.
rhyme. Go ahead.
That the girl is a spoiled brat because she took a mental health break. No, Pierce, you're a spoiled brat, and you do need to take a mental health break. And also sit down on your flat ass. Period.
That said, you covered pretty much everything I was about to say. But I will say this about Pierce. I find this very interesting. In his statement, she said she a spoiled brat and she's looking out for herself. Pierce, it's her mental health.
And all you do is look out for yourself.
Again. We gave you the floor. Still wondering why that Bigo thing didn't work out. Pierce, sit your ass down. Alright. Normally, this is the time I looked at my boy BK and I asked him a very important question. And I ask you this question every week.
I don't give a fuck about Florida.
Hold on. But this time, and only this time, Florida was not in the building. All right. Florida said, we're taking a week off, and everybody else went crazy. And with the magic pause button, we back. And with that said, my man BK had to take off. But I hope he did not take it off because his favorite part ain't here.
What's that?
There's no Florida this week.
Florida.
Because you know how we get down. We always ask if Florida's in the house. But this week, every other state was just like, we would like to be acknowledged too. And we got to start at home, Michigan. The Michigan State House Republicans and a few Democrats in the Michigan State House, my home state actually, have passed a bill that will ban government-required COVID-19 vaccine passports. Now, if you're not vaccinated, you shouldn't be traveling, and we get that. But here's the problem, Michigan. And I love y'all. I live here. Please don't raise my taxes. The reason why y'all getting sit your ass down, and I think we all figured it out right now. Why they getting sit your ass down? For this reason, and only this reason. That shit don't exist. How can you vote to ban something that doesn't exist? You wasted so much time and you made legislative efforts to utilize this, and this thing isn't a thing. Period. So you banned a thing that doesn't exist. Hey, you know what? I'm banning Santa Claus from my house. You got it. What else doesn't exist? Hey, quality of the relationship. 50-50 equality. I'm banning that.
Seriously.
Hey, unilateral conditions of bonnets. Banning it.
Still on weird.
You can't ban something that don't exist. So I would like to say to my home state, the Michigan State House of Representatives, and some Democrats. That's how it was put. The Michigan State has the GOP and some Democrats. ... Man, sit y'all ass down. Now I'm a good dude.
Are you?
Try to be. But my next sit your ass down. And I got the assist from the part-time executive producer of this podcast, Natasha.
Part-time.
DJ and Maddie. We ain't getting them. AJ, come on to the podcast whenever you're ready. You get 2 checks. We're going to rename you Juice. We're going to call you the Juice.
Apple juice?
I don't know why. I don't know why he should be Juice in my world. He should be Juice. AJ is such a killer nickname, but I feel he can roll with Juice. If he's Juice for the rest of his life, he could be Juice. I don't know why that makes sense, but it will make sense. Meet me on Oculus. We can talk about when we fish and watching the WNBA game.
You're a weird man.
But the next sit your ass down go with an assist from you. Jeffrey McCants Jr. This was hard to watch. Last Thursday, a man identified as Jeremy McCants Jr. walked into the Pritchard Fire Department station and just took one of their cars. He just did it. He took a 2009 Crown Vic and backed out of the garage. When he was backing out and clearly still in this car. Clearly. He was immediately apprehended after making a drive blocks down because you just took a government vehicle. And then when asked, blocks down the road, why did you take it? He said, I took it because God told me to. All right, let me tell you something about God. I may not be the best representative. A better representative just left because there was no Florida stories and sit your ass down. Let me quote. Let me read the quote because it gets hilarious before I tell you what I think. Quote, I took it because God told me to. And guess what? God helped me do everything, even steal. End quote. McCann said to the police cameras as he was being taken to jail. Quote again. Quote. I steal everything. I steal everything, man. And I even steal your heart, baby. End quote. Hey, look. Quote again. Sorry. Quote. Hey, look. When I get out of jail, I'm going to steal a police car. End quote. Also, per McCants, said his divine calling didn't stop with car theft. He announced to the media that he would be running for the mayor of Mobile, Alabama. Like, so this is 2 states that I identify with, Alabama and Michigan, and please stop it. I again Let me go. He's once done fighting the cases. Hello, my name is Jeremy McKenzie said, and I'm running for the mayor of Mobile, Alabama, baby. End quote. So let's do this. Jeffrey McCants.
Oh, God.
I called him Jeremy a minute ago. I misspoke. Should have read. That reading and talking at the same time does do something, but Jeffrey. So many layers to sit your ass down. Just based off what I read. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say what God told you to do because, quote unquote, just be fair, that's not God. Period. Jeffrey, let's touch. Got anything?
I have nothing.
Man, sit your ass down.
I have absolutely nothing to him. God bless you, sir.
And lastly, certainly not leastly, this last sit your ass down goes to Casey Garcia. I understand what it is to have a good idea. Sometimes good ideas fall by the wayside. And Casey Garcia is getting to sit your ass down for this reason. Texas woman arrested for posing as her 13-year-old daughter, to prove a point on school shootings. Casey Garcia was arrested after spending the entire day at middle school posing as her 13-year-old daughter to prove a point that school shootings and documenting her entire experience on YouTube. Yeah. Casey Garcia has been arrested for tampering with school records, trespassing, and was quoted to say on YouTube. You can actually look this up. Going to school as my 13-year-old daughter, Garcia, I wore yellow hoodie, glasses, and a black face mask entering the school. Do I look like a 7th grader? No. Cool, awesome, end quote. Quote again, we need better security at our schools, and this is what I was trying to prove. Alright, let me break this down. The reason you're getting sit your ass down, not because you are a concerned parent, which is cool, and I get it. I'm a concerned parent. I want to know what's going on in my son's school. But here's why you're getting sit your ass down. If your whole thing was about school shootings, you went to school in a school shooting where it's been the lowest it's ever been because we're in the middle of a pandemic. No one's at school outside of a few select students and hold on, I want to stay with it. And, faculty. But the reason you're getting your sit your ass down, the main reason, just to be frank, is because if your whole thing was about protecting your school about school shootings, by you doing this, you have just sent a record to all school shooters, rapists, molesters, just the criminal element at large, that they can do this too. You did it, and you put it on YouTube. What you should have did is have a conversation with the PTA board, have a conversation with the school principal, vice principal, faculty. Hey, I feel this strongly. Here's $300. Get a metal detector at the school. What you just did is send a smoke signal to anyone with a nefarious intent to say, look how easily I can do this. Casey, man, sit your ass down. So that's enough for me for this week.